Halo teman-teman belajar, welcome back to Belajar Bersama channel, and good morning from Ubud, Bali. This time we are going to discuss, study together, share learning together. The topic this time is about characterization, because I'm teaching literature as well, and I think it will be something beneficial for us, something useful for us to share about characterization. And I bet most of you, like me, we love reading novels, we love watching movies, especially movies. I mean, for me, myself, I love watching movies, and I bet some of you also love watching movies. And in a movie itself or in a novel itself, there are characters, and we just need to share the characterization, how those characters are built, how those characters are developed, and finally become someone in a movie or in a novel. Okay, so if we talk about characterization, there are several types. There are several ways, actually, two ways actually, how the characters are built, both in a movie and in a novel. The first one is called the direct characterization. The direct characterization is when the scriptwriters or the authors, if we talk about novel, the authors directly give the characters to certain characters. I mean, directly explain or describe the characters. For instance, if we talk about, let's say, I pick a name, John and Robert. John, Robert, okay. If I become the authors, I will directly give the characters to John. Like, I will directly mention, like in a novel, John is a humble person. John is very soft-hearted. John is very well-managed. John is very patient, very helpful, and blah 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 blah. John always speaks in a very polite way. So I give directly the characters to John. So I write directly in my novel the characters, John characters. I directly just write it down so the readers can just read it and finally directly get the idea about John. How John probably speaks, how John probably treats others. So you can directly read the characters from the novel, directly, given directly by the authors in the novel. Okay, so that is direct characterization. So the characterization is built by the authors. Doing it by directly mentioning the characters of John or Robert. And the opposite way is indirect characterization. When we talk about indirect characterization is when the authors or the scriptwriters in a movie, authors in a novel, when the authors indirectly describe the characters of John or Robert. So the authors don't actually write down the characters of John or Robert. No, the authors don't do it directly. They don't do it directly. Instead, they will give the characters by implicitly by creating the conversation, or by setting up certain events or actions, or setting up the scenes, so we can guess actually the characters of John and Robert. For example, the authors make this describe the characters of John in the conversation where John involved, where John is involved in this conversation. So we can finally make a conclusion that, oh, John is a humble person from the way he talks, from the way he answers questions, from the way he probably gives his opinions and arguments. But it's not described directly by the authors, but the authors kind of like setting up a conversation or setting up an event in a novel or in a movie where these two characters, John and Robert, are involved, talking or doing something. So we can guess from their daily activities, their conversation, finally we can guess their characters. So it's not written directly in the novel, or it's not mentioned directly in the movie, but we have to make a conclusion from how they behave and how they treat others, how they speak, how they interact with each others both in a movie or in a novel. So that is indirect characterization. Okay, so in conclusion, there are two ways of building up characters in either movie or novel or short stories. Okay, there are two ways of building up the characters. The first one is we can build up the characters directly by mentioning their characters. We can mention that person A is humble, person B is blah 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 blah. We can mention directly, or one person, one actor will mention directly in a movie. For example, let's say person A is talking to person B about person C, for example. So in this case, in a movie setting, so in this case, person A is mentioning directly the character of person C to person B. So in this case, let me repeat once again. In a movie, let's say for example, if we talk about direct characterization, let's say person A is talking to person B, talking about person C, and they're mentioning about the characters of person C, which is who is probably humble, or hey, person C is very kind person C is very humble, C helped me this morning, oh blah blah blah. So in this case, person A and person B, in their talk, they're talking about person C and directly mentioning the characters of person C. Well, that can be a setup, that can be something organized in a movie for direct characterization. But in a novel, yes, you can also do that by writing, okay? Or the author can write directly when introducing person C. The author can write directly about person C characters, like person C is humble and blah blah blah. So directly written and directly mentioned. So the characters are directly mentioned, the characters are directly written. That is direct characterization. But indirect is the opposite. It's not directly mentioned, it's not directly written, but we need to make a conclusion based on their acts, based on their habits, based on the way they talk, based on the way they communicate with each other, the way they treat each other, the way they probably argue, and etc. So we need to make a conclusion. Oh, okay, character B is this kind of person, character A is this, character C is this. Okay, so those are about characterization. Remember, characterization is how to build the characters in a movie, in the short stories, in a novel, and there are two ways of building those characters: direct and indirect. Okay. Thank you very much. If you still have questions, I'm going to probably give some examples by watching movies or novels by the end of in the other videos later. But for now, if you still have questions or something to add, please write in the comment section below. and we can have further discussion about this. Thank you very much everyone for watching this video. Don't forget to press the like button and also share so more of our friends can learn together with us in this channel. And don't also forget to press the subscribe button, click the subscribe button, and be friends here in Belajar Bersama channel. Thank you very much everyone. I'll see you again in the next video. Stay healthy and have a great day. Thank you.